35-inch tires. What does that size of tire actually do to a stock Jeep JK? So for those who don't know, this is my 07 Jeep JK. Whoa, hold on, I wasn't expecting that. This is my completely stock 2007 Jeep JK. It has the tow package, so it comes luckily with the 410 gears, and it has a 6-speed manual. And something that has been bugging me since I've owned this vehicle is the size of these tires. Now, if you're new to this channel, I am trying to see what I can do with this Jeep stock, and so far, it's not been good. This thing has the ground clearance of a Camry, and it has the wheelbase of like an F-250, and that combination just does not work for me. So what I plan on doing is what everyone does, is a 2.5-inch lift, some 35-inch tires, but we want to see how is that going to affect the drivability of this Jeep. So like many of you, whenever you're wanting to do this kind of adventure on your Jeep, what's the first thing you do? You go to the internet, and that brings you to the forums and YouTube. And there seems to be a bit of a split. Some people say putting 35s on a Jeep JK with a 3.8 is not that big of a deal. Some people will let you know that it's the biggest mistake you can make in your entire life. But when I was doing this research, I noticed there's not that much visual information when it comes to this exact package. You can see some videos of people maybe with the automatic transmission or some sort of vertical video that lasts 35 seconds and you just have to deal with it. So what I'm hoping to do is be able to do a deeper dive, give everyone who has the same question a better representation of what actually happens when you put larger tires on this Jeep. So let's find out. Okay, so now here we are inside the Jeep with slightly bigger than factory tires. These are a 245/70 R16, which makes it about a 29.5-inch tire. So it's a very light, very small tire on stock steel wheels. As everyone knows, the Jeep JK is not a bullet. This is not a fast vehicle by any means. It never was. But with these tires, it is pretty acceptable. I can drive anywhere in 6th gear on the highway. It does very decent pulls. I can get up to speed. There's actually no complaints with me on the performance of this vehicle. One thing that is a good thing to mention is that we are about a mile above sea level, and that does make quite a difference with this 3.8. It needs all the help it can get, and right now I'm already handicapping it. So as far as this goes, the on-road performance is fine. You know, there's no road noise. It has a lot of sidewall, so it can take potholes and everything good. It's like, but you have to talk to yourself and see what do you want. This has great on-road performance, but now it's going to be starting to lack on off-road performance, and that's kind of why you get a Jeep. So will the bigger tires give too much of a compromise to where now it's only good off-road and terrible on-road, or will we hit a nice sweet spot with these 410 gears in this 6-speed, and maybe it'll surprise us, or maybe everyone will be right all along and this will be a terrible, terrible, terrible decision. So let's go see. Okay, so here we are on a bit of off-roadness. And just for disclaimer, I do have the front sway bar connected because that's how this Jeep was. It doesn't have the automatic or the button to unlock the diffs. Doesn't have the button to unlock the sway bar. And I didn't bring any tools with me because that's a bit of an annoyance. So this is just how the Jeep is. And on a road like this, you know, this is just kind of a normal flat road. It's not bad because, you know, this is extremely mild. It keeps the gearing pretty good, so it still has some decent acceleration. But one thing that you will notice is that it gets a little bumpy. And that's a combination of things. That's a combination of small tires and this stock base model suspension. This has almost no up travel. This thing is all for articulation. It is very close to the bump stops. So there are some sacrifices. You have to stay slow or else you're gonna really start beating yourself up and the Jeep, even on something as light as this dirt road. Okay. Let's see how this thing performs when you really get onto it with this stock setup. Let's go. Woo! And that's 60 in a couple of business days. But hey, now we have a nice comparison of how this thing goes. Of course, when we put on the bigger tires, the speedometer will be inaccurate because of the large diameter, but we'll figure that out as we go. Okay, now we have some visuals on what a baseline is for this Jeep under stock conditions. Now that we have all that out of the way, let's throw some 35s on this Jeep and see how it performs. Oh my God, where am I? Why is it cold? Oh, the Jeep's got 35s now and a lift. Let's talk about it. On what we thought was going to be a 2-weekend adventure, ended up taking us 5 months to do. But it is what it is. Let's get into it. Let's see what the specs are on this Jeep now. Oh, all right. Starting off with the wheels. These are not anything super fancy. They are not super expensive. This company is called Rock Tricks. I got these bad boys off of Amazon. Super affordable. This is for show. It's okay. I don't need bead locks. By getting a more affordable wheel, it allowed me to do a full 5 tire and wheel setup, which I love. Anyway, this is a 17x9. It has a negative 12 millimeter offset with 4.5 inches of back spacing. This wheel is made specifically for this Jeep with this lift, with this kind of tire, and it fits nicely. Speaking of tire, we got the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss ATs in a 315/70 R17. Now everyone knows, not exactly a true 35, but it's close enough. Ta-da, 35. This is a 35 to me. I've never owned a tire this large. I'm proud of it, damn it. Leave me alone! And as you heard me just mention, this Jeep does have a 2.5-inch lift. And we did do an install video about that. So if you haven't checked it out, do yourself a favor, watch that video. But after you're done watching this one, we'll have a link in, of course, and a link of it in the description. But with this combination, 2.5-inch lift, geometry corrected, 35s, and a 17x9, look at this thing. This is what a Jeep looks like now. It doesn't have the Postmaster Edition anymore. It has the Rockmaster Edition, right? Right? Yeah. And when it comes to owning a Jeep, they tend to have the spare tire in the back. Now, since I went a little cheaper on wheels, like I mentioned earlier, it afforded me to get 5 wheels, 5 tires. And there's a lot of confusion here on the forums. Everyone always says, if you got a 35, this all has to be messed with. But I'm here to say right now, take a look. This is still completely stock. The brake light hasn't been modified, anything. Still on the stock hinges, and this still has the stock bumper. And it clears just fine. There's no rattles. The hatch opens just fine. I don't know what people are thinking. You get this and I need to buy 5 more things. If you don't have the money or the time to completely modify the back of your Jeep, don't be afraid. 35 sits just fine. It loves it here. Okay, we are now on the dirt with 35s. I imagine this is going to be a little bit rougher. I went from, I think they're LT tires, light trucks, little soft boys, 29s. So it will probably soak up the bumps a little bit better than these tires because they're E-load. But we're here, we're taller, we got more rubber. Let's just see if we can cruise off-road, because I had to be a little bit more cautious of how I did my lines because it bottomed out easily and it just shuddered a lot. Like it didn't want to stay on the road. And it's kind of sad to say, because after 5 months of this setup, this is my first time taking it off-road. I've been a mile crawler and a half with this thing, but that changes now. So let's see what happens. Okay, that was about 35. I'm pretty sure in the first take with the 29-inch tires, I did not go almost 40 miles an hour. So I can already tell I have a lot more confidence in this. When I would drive my 4Runner out here with the independent suspension and the I don't know, the aftermarket Iron Man setup, it was like a breeze. And then I would take the Jeep out and I wouldn't want to break my neck. With this setup, I'm actually quite pleased. So pleased I turned British. All right, governor. Let's see how this thing does on the streets. Now let's see how the acceleration change has been with these new tires. And as a side note, I did get a scan tool, so this speedometer is calibrated. It's perfect. So let's do it. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, well, this guy doesn't want to swerve into me. Well, I think that took about 6 business days. I think the other one was about 5. So yeah, there is a difference. But the one thing that I find as a benefit is because of those tiny tires and the gear ratio on this Jeep, I was going through gears very fast. First gear was almost pointless. I always debated with myself if I should just start in second. With the 35s, it definitely gives the gears a lot more time. There's a lot more stretch in them, so it actually makes the drivability better, which kind of weird to think when you're going big tires. But with all that, I think that leads into my final thoughts on this Jeep and everything we've done so far. So, how does it feel driving this thing on a daily basis with this setup? Well, I have the fortunate ability, since this took a while for us to film, I've put about 1,000 miles on this setup. So I have real world experience. It's not just slap them on, general impressions, and call it a day. This thing's been on the highway. I've taken it to the mountains. This was the first time on the dirt. Whoops. And all in all, it's fine. Like, I can't really tell a difference in the speed in this thing. You know, we're a mile above sea level. It's the 3.8, 6-speed, 410s. I've beaten that statement with a dead horse. And I don't really see many sacrifices. The brakes, you have to push them a little harder. The master cylinder is not really made for this heavy a tire. These are heavy, it's, you know, over 100 pounds each. So the rotation mass is definitely up there. But as far as drivability, I can't really tell a difference. The steering's the same. The, I don't know, top heavy feel is about the same because I still do have the sway bars. I have quick disconnects, but they are on all the time. But all in all, I think the only issue is this thing's a little bit harder to get into now. It's taller than the 4Runner, so I actually had to get these little handles so I can lift my lanky ass up into this thing. But other than that, I can't really tell a difference. Me, personally, if you have a Jeep, I would still say if you have the 3.8, the 321 gears, even possibly the 373s, I don't know how those are gonna feel. But if you have similar setup like this, like if you have a Rubicon, go for it. The 35s, they're fine. It does everything just as good as it did. I mean, this thing was never fast. It's just slightly slower than slow. So, I don't know, its highway speeds are fine. I can't complain. This thing's good. I think my MPGs went from about 18 to 15, and that 15's been pretty consistent, so that's to be expected with all that rotational mass and it's higher off the ground. So all in all, that's stuff I'm used to, but I'm good. Like, I have no regrets with this setup. 2.5-inch lift with 35s looks fantastic. I mean, for me, I'm the one driving it. I love it. I love driving this thing. It is a cool box. I fit in it, and I think these were great upgrades to this Wrangler. Comment down below, what have you done to your Wrangler? Have you done a similar setup? Do you have the 3.6? Do you have a JL? You know, what do you think? You know, does this look like a pretty good setup to you? Is this something you would do? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video and you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Maybe check out some of our other videos, check out the install video, and we'll keep making videos just for you. Bye.